Welcome back. Today we're taking a look at this 31.5-inch 4K monitor sent to me by BenQ to review. Full disclosure, I have not been financially compensated for this review. If you'd like to purchase one of these, feel free to use the Amazon affiliate links in the description below. So, let's get started. Unboxing this monitor was somewhat of a challenge due to how big it is. Luckily, once I realized that the foam was stuck because of the cardboard carrying holes on either side, the monitor came out relatively easily. The monitor was adequately packaged and was not damaged during the shipping. So let's pull it all out and assemble the stand. It feels like it's made from a very hard solid plastic. 2 Phillips head screws hold the stand to the monitor itself. As far as adjustments go, you can tilt the screen up and down slightly, and that's as far as you can go with the included stand. Alternatively, you can mount this using the VESA mounting screw holes on the back. So, let's take a look around the display itself. Aesthetically, it's quite simple. The bezels are thin around the top and the sides. The rear of the monitor is curved, giving the illusion that it is thinner than it actually is if you look at it from the right angles. Overall, it's quite understated, not at all flashy or aggressive looking like most gaming peripherals. The port selection is also solid. You've got USB-C, which can even supply power to your laptop, 2 HDMI ports, 1 DisplayPort 1.4, and a headphone jack. With a monitor of this size, I would definitely have appreciated a USB hub for added functionality. So, how is the picture quality? It is worth noting that this is a VA panel. There are generally some advantages as well as disadvantages to this. With a high 3000:1 advertised contrast ratio as well as HDR support, this monitor is geared towards a multimedia experience rather than a purely gaming focused one. However, this monitor does support AMD's FreeSync technology, which will noticeably reduce screen tearing while gaming. With an advertised grey-to-grey response time of 4 milliseconds and a maximum refresh rate of 60 Hz, this monitor is not designed for competitive gaming. However, from the titles I've tested, it seems to be very decent with little to no ghosting whatsoever. Off-angle viewing, however, is not great, but this is to be expected with a VA panel. For content creation, video, and photo editing, this monitor is advertised as covering 100% of the Rec. 709 color space, as well as 95% of the DCI P3 color space. From my day-to-day use, I've been very pleased with this monitor's performance. So, let's talk more about the HDR capabilities of this monitor. The main problem is this monitor just isn't that bright. With an acceptable advertised brightness of 300 nits, this monitor doesn't truly deliver on a complete HDR experience. At the press of a button, you can enable the HDR feature to increase the dynamic range, as well as enable the Brightness Intelligence Plus technology that is supposed to detect ambient light and adjust the monitor's brightness and color temperature accordingly. Overall, the viewing experience is very good, just don't expect the highlights to really pop. Since this monitor is targeted at a console gaming experience, let's try it out with a docked Nintendo Switch. Even though the signal from the Switch is at most 1080p, the picture looks sharp and the image is colorful and vibrant. Sonic Mania looks absolutely gorgeous. Another console we'll try out is the SNES Classic Mini. Once again, the upscaled image looks very sharp and the colors are rich and vibrant. If you want a monitor to game on consoles with, I'd have to say this is a very compelling choice. The last console we're going to test is the Xbox One. Sadly, it took half an hour to get through 11% of this update, so I'm gonna have to pass on capturing Xbox footage. Using the USB-C connection, I can easily charge my laptop and use the screen as a secondary monitor through the one cable. This monitor does also have speakers, however I can't recommend using them. The stereo 2-watt speakers have next to no bass and are somewhat muddy, but they are there if you really need them. The display also features eye care in the form of a blue light filter. If you do any content creation, I'd strongly suggest turning this feature off to preserve as much of the color accuracy as possible. There are also a number of different picture profiles. However, I'd have to recommend the standard preset as it personally looks the best to me. So, to summarize, this is a very decent display. For the money, it's a great middle ground for content creation and gaming as well as media consumption. With a solid build quality, a decent selection of ports, and a very good VA panel, this monitor gets a definite yes from me. If you want to pick one up, Amazon links are in the description below. Once again, thank you to BenQ for sending me this to review. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have another video out in a week's time. Feel free to check out my other videos in the meantime. I'll see you soon.